I take all of my footage with my phone, and footage taken with a phone can be quite lower in quality than the ones taken with a legit camera, especially when your phone isn't the latest iPhone. But this is where we get to flex our creativity. So here are a few ways to make your phone footage look slightly more interesting. I'm going to be using After Effects, but you can do pretty much all of these in DaVinci Resolve. Number 1. Defocused foreground. Most phones these days have a background blur feature, which is cinematic, but unless your phone has good edge detection, it can get glitchy. You know what's more cinematic? A blurred foreground. And that's hard to get unless you have a good optical zoom on your camera. Foregrounds create a frame within a frame and give you a certain symmetry. Unless your phone has a great lens, adding a defocused foreground might be tough, because the lenses on a phone are just too small for giving you an effective depth of field. So, we're going to fake that defocused foreground. Jump into After Effects. Add in a layer on top that's either a 2D image or a 3D render. Scale it up to the appropriate size until it fits your frame and aesthetic. Then add a lens blur. A lens blur emulates the kind of blur that you get from your camera lenses when you're shifting focus. You get digital bokeh that you don't get with normal blurs like Gaussian and box blurs. Defocused foreground can instantly make your shot look a bit more well crafted. You can also fake a focus shift with this. Just add an adjustment layer in between and give it a lens blur too. Then keyframe the lens blurs to increase and decrease on each respective layer. You'll find that it's the little details like these that end up making a huge difference. Number 2. Radial blur. This is pretty basic and cheap, but it works, especially if your background is beyond your control and you want your viewers' attention on you specifically. I've always been a big fan of distortions, and this is one of my favorites. Just grab an adjustment layer over your footage and add in radial blur from the effects panel. Increasing the radial blur can affect the entire shot, so you can just add a mask, inverse it, and feather it so it's only on the edges. Also, it's really handy if you want to give your footage that dreamy look in post. Number 3. Chromatic aberration. Almost the same purpose as a radial blur, but this one has an aesthetic of its own. It goes well with everything, whether your footage is shot on a phone or a camera or even an entire CG render. It's grown in popularity after the Spider-Verse films. I actually recommend grabbing a free plugin for this because the inbuilt one in After Effects just doesn't cut it. Number 4. VHS. Let's say the footage is really bad, like low resolution, lots of noise. Well, make it worse. Put on a VHS filter, scale it down, give it an extra frame, give it that vintage look. There's a lot of free VHS plugins out there now, so take your pick. Number 5. Use 3D animation. Okay, I know this is a separate skill entirely, but you would be surprised what you can accomplish with some basic 3D skills. There's this misconception that you need a high-end PC for 3D graphics, and that's only true to some extent. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish by optimizing your render settings. I'm not an expert at Blender, far from it, but I could not imagine my current content without 3D. Blender is free and as good as any other 3D software out there. It's easy to learn. And if you may be so interested, may I fancy you in checking out my very own tutorial on gloss materials in Blender. You can compose CG environments and green screen yourself in there. You don't have to key it in Blender. Do it in After Effects and then export it in MOV format. Then you can just import as mesh plane and boom, you're in 3D space as a 2D layer. Literally, you can do anything. You can show yourself inside a phone, or a camera inside a phone, or a phone inside a camera, inside a TV. Yeah, okay, I'll stop. All of these should be able to polish up your phone footage a bit. If all else fails, just put in some fake aspect ratio bars. Or crop it to 4:3 to make it look artsy. But there's something more important when it comes to dealing with phone footage, and that comes before you even hit record. You see, post-production can only get you so far, and whether you're dealing with phone footage or camera footage, one thing you need to get right is lighting. If you can't afford a good camera, invest in lighting. I use these small RGB lights from Ulanzi, and they're great for learning lighting basics. I keep experimenting with different color combos, and it's actually pretty fun. Invest in audio. Get a mic. Or just dub it. These are just some of the tricks I use to make my phone footage look a little less boring. If you're shooting with a phone too with limitations, I hope they help you out in any way possible. But of course, don't stay limited to these. Never be afraid to go wild with your creativity. Don't get dependent on post-production. It is, at the end of the day, just an option, because a good shot is a good shot. What's up, guys? Thanks again for watching this video. If you made it this far, press the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And if you have any content enthusiast friends, do share this video with them in case it helps them out or if they find it interesting. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I also post content there. Be sure to hit up the notifications button. And that's pretty much it for now. Thank you.